and our student athletes?
Really excited about how we finished the year. These two young men up here are great representatives of what we have, a locker room full of tremendous competitors, great character, people you want to be around. And I can't say enough about these two young men up here coming in and showing up. The last 2 weeks have been really good. We got 11 practices back in Fresno, and we got better as a football team. We created depth. I'm really excited about the amount of reps that our young people got. Jakari provided tremendous leadership in the back end, and then Josiah just continued that. I mean, kept his biggest night for the last one of the year, and fun to see. These are guys that put hard work in, have their degrees. These guys are what's right about college football right now, is the high character young men you want to be around. So super excited about the win. Like I said, 9 wins isn't easy. Probably thought we should have won a couple more, but I'll worry about that when we get home, or maybe next week at some point. But we're going to enjoy this one. Probably something here looks out of norm. These guys probably look good with that on. The guy from Northeast Iowa probably looks a little unique with death row necklace on.
Just for the non-Fresno people here, sorry, let me introduce the players. On the far side, wide receiver Josiah Freeman, and on this side, corner Jakari Everett. Go.
For Coach Jakari, so you guys came into this game with the top 15 defense in college football. You guys showed today. What's unique about this defense, and why do you guys think you guys click on that side of the ball?
I say we're a family.
We all know that we got each other back. You know, like when you on the field, and once you know that the person next to you is like your brother, you're gonna do everything you can not to let them down. So like we just got that connection with each other. That we just know that we all a family.
There was it was all brand new. These guys did an unbelievable job, new terminology, new adjustments, and you could see probably after our non-conference season that they started to get comfortable. They started to get their cleats in the ground, and started to play fast. And when you can eliminate the processing for football players, they become dangerous. When they can play with clarity, it's fun to watch. And believe me, the last 2 weeks have been the most competitive of the year. Our offense versus the defense, and I loved every single. Iron sharpens iron, and it was a great example of it.
For the players, you and your teammates were very excited after the game to meet Snoop, to get the chains, all that stuff. How would you describe what that whole scene was like as he's pulling up in the car and handing out the chains and all that stuff?
It's an exciting feeling. It's always great to win a bowl game. 9 wins. Like I said, especially coming to the Snoop Dogg bowl game, we knew we wanted to come out here and win. Get to the last win. But we've been here for a couple of days. Just like I said, we're a family, so we spend a lot of time at the hotel. Doing activities, and it was just a great, just team bonding experience, and it feels good to always get a win, especially like I said, that bowl game.
Jackson.
Coach, how does this experience compare to your other postseason experiences?
When you finish the year with a win in December, that's a good year, right? Period. I don't care, the naysayers or whatever, but when you're winning a game after Christmas with these type of young men, that's a win for the program. That's a win for Fresno State. That's a win for our administration and all of our coaches and all our support people.
And Coach, what does it mean to you to finish your first year at Fresno State with a 9-4 overall record?
Means we got room to improve. Yeah, why did we lose 4 games, right? So we'll get back to work, but I am going to take a couple days, and you won't be able to find me, and that's going to be intentional. But super excited. There's a lot of new things. 54 weeks ago, I became head football coach here, and there was a lot of new faces, new terminology, new way of doing things, new set of standards. And we don't live in the expectation world. That's an external thing. We live in the standard world, and that's an internal thing. And our guys bought into that. They understand what it takes to be a Bulldog, and I hope we provided a valued experience for all these guys.
We talked about the growth of the players throughout the season. How did you grow as a head coach from week 1 to now?
It's just, I think, relationships with the young men on the football team just needed time. And you want to come in, a year ago in January and snap on the fingers, and you got relationships with like both these guys, and it doesn't happen like that. Not real ones. Not when you're trying to be transformational. And it took time. It took getting the guys, our coaches had them over to their house to dinner, events at school, other things, just little things where we got together and we worked together. We had fun together. We laughed together. We laughed at each other together. And I think, hopefully, like I said, they had a valued experience. And I know I did. I probably needed Fresno maybe sometimes more than they needed me.
For anybody, what did it mean for EJ to finish his college career with this kind of game after kind of an up and down season?
Good for him. You know what? Good for all our players walking, especially our seniors. We have 25 plus seniors, EJ being one of them. For them to walk off, some of them it's the last game they're ever going to play, and for them to walk out being a winner, being a champion of the Arizona Bowl, that's exciting. I'm excited for them. And that's what it's supposed to be about.
Also, the sidelines seemed really excited at the end of the game. Did you put in some players who hadn't played very much?
We dressed some players that maybe hadn't dressed before, but going back to our Boise State game, I challenged our coaches and said, get off the iPads. Our players are on their phones all day long, and then now on Saturday, we're on the iPad all day. Fix it, correct it, and get them back engaged in the game. More isn't better. Football went a long time with just a grease board, chalkboard, and people were winning a lot of games. So we kind of went back to old school. Fix it, show them what they need to do, move on, but get them back, supporting their teammates. And I'd have to say since then we're 4-1 and played some pretty good football late in the year.
Lynch's leg got a really good workout today. Talk about what Miami was doing to your offense
Yeah.
to kind of stop you in that red zone.
Well, they did a really good job. Good job just changing up coverage, changing up looks. We got into some big personnel. They stunted into some things that caught us off guard. There were probably a couple plays we wish we had back, early in the game. We were 2nd and 5. Probably wish we would have maybe ran the ball again on 2nd down. But you know what? We were able to capitalize, hit some field goals. Again, field goals don't get you beat, but they can't. Sometimes they don't win the games either. We knew it was going to take a touchdown at some point for us to put this thing away.
I just want to ask about the nature of your game, the yak yardage. People think of your frame and the way you battle with defenders, but the amount of yak you had, is that the most you've had in a game that you can think of?
Definitely. It's the most I've had. It's something I challenged myself when the season first started. I want to really put that on tape and put that, into my game. The yards after the catch. So I really try my best this year to do that.
And despite, Coach, the offense, in the red zone side of things, but the possession, the ability to just kind of control the game that way. How proud are you of the way they were able to not turn the ball over that way, control the ball?
Yeah, there's a lot of positive. When you talk about the areas that you want to win, you don't want to beat yourself. And we didn't turn the ball over. Time of possession, I'm guessing 35, 36 minutes. Okay. Something, we had the ball. We did a great job. What was it at?
38-40.
Yeah.
39 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. You should win ball games, right? They can't score if they don't have it. And so, maybe we didn't finish with touchdowns, but we leaned on people. We imposed our will. We got the run game going at different times. The gap scheme stuff was really good. EJ played a really good game defensively. I think we caused him fits all night long. We changed up pictures. We got pressure on the quarterback. And then we had a huge takeaway. They got to stop, wanted to take a shot. Try my man Jakari over here. And he did an unbelievable job coming down with it.
Can you speak to the complete job, especially the DBs this group has been,
Yeah.
which has been a special group that you can think about?
Well, they got a special coach too in J.D. Williams. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't bring him up. But that back end, that is a group that is as tight as anybody. The way they are always together. They're as thick as thieves out there, and which is good. And you got to love the guys you're with. Especially when it's 4th and 1, you got to know that you trust people. And, to have AZ and Jakari here, 2 corners, as good a corners and probably, FBS football. We're pretty special. And these 2 guys, the competition that goes on at practice, that's a good thing. When the best competition during the week happens on our practice field, that says something about where we're going, what we're trying to do at Fresno State.
Growing up in Iowa, did you ever listen to Snoop Dogg?
I did. Probably, the first album I probably remember was him and Dre, was it Chronic?
Chronic.
Yep, 93, 91, right in there probably. I probably was a freshman in college You know, my college roommates here, we probably open the windows and play that out of our dorm room a little bit.
Could you guys talk about the fumble in the second quarter? Do you feel like maybe that was a momentum shifter in the game?
Yes. Yeah. the energy from that point just went up. Like once we got another takeaway, ain't nothing better on defense than getting a takeaway. Like that's the best thing. That's the reason we play football. Get a takeaway. Get a takeaway every time we step on the field.
Question for Jakar.
Al, go ahead.
So, Coach, obviously it's more fun when you win the game, but win or lose, how important is it for your players to have an experience like the one they had this week or any bowl game experience?
Well, I think it's unbelievably important, you know, for the development of your program to have what we call winter camp. And that's what we had. We got 11 practices. Not necessarily fall camp, a little bit shorter than spring bowl, but winter camp. And I think these guys would both, you know, agree with me. There's guys that you don't know their names, you don't know their jersey numbers that had unbelievable 2 weeks of practice that are going to be the next version of guys like this. But we needed it, you know, and to be able to utilize this to jumpstart our off season. You know, we're going to be back January 16th. We'll be back in the weight room, meetings, those things, and just to come back and have that excitement level. And you see all your work matters, and when you work hard, good things happen.
We'll take questions for Josiah and Jakari.
For Jakari, for the Oregon State game, you had to pick six, and you said yesterday that you wanted that feeling back. Do you get that feeling back today?
Yes. I needed that interception. Just once I seen that video, it just brought back like the feeling that I got from that moment, and I just was telling myself all yesterday that like when I step on this field, I'm not leaving without anything, and I did that. I didn't do that.
And then question for Josiah, just your legacy as a Bulldog, to go out the way that you did, how does that feel like?
You know, it feels great. You know, coming off injury last year, I knew what I wanted to do this season. You know, I trusted the coaching staff, Coach Ensbauer, and I trusted his what he had to do. And you know, I really liked how he embraced the tradition of Bulldog football. You know, he didn't shy away from it. You know, he kept all alumni around, and you know, I'm grateful that you know the season turned out how it did.
Did you guys see Snoop catch that kickoff on that play? Did you have a reaction to that craziness?
I just laughed. It was funny.
He got it. They saw the replay. He got it.
He actually did.
For the players, what was your favorite part of this week?
Just the bonding, being with you know, this was my first time like spending the holidays without my family, and at first I didn't know how to expect, but like just the bonds that we created over the time, just us being here, just felt amazing. Like you wouldn't want to do nothing else for the holidays. Like if you're not with your family, you want to be with the football team. That's like the best thing ever.
Like you said, man, the bonding, you know, just the memories we create, you know, just, you know, we weren't home for the holidays, but, you know, we were, you know, with some of our best friends, our close friends that we'll know for the rest of our life, you know, just in the hotel room, you know, cracking jokes, you know, plane rides, you know, all the activities we've done. So, you know, we all never take it for granted because we know this opportunity is real special for us.
Take one more question.
What was it like to come and play in Tucson?
What was it like playing in Tucson?
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, I'll answer. I mean, I didn't know Fresno was as rainy as it was, so it was good to get out of the rain a little bit. What we got down here, we got a practice of 2 days where it was warm. We got sweat going. We kind of got back into it, so it was good for us. It was exciting, and the people from the bowl, the resort that we stayed at. You talk about first class organization. Took care of everything. And I know there's a lot of work that goes on all year long, and so thank you to the Arizona Bowl, thank you to Snoop Dogg, anyone that was affiliated with putting this on. It was a first-class event, you know, I'll forever be, you know, super excited about Tucson and winning the Snoop Dogg Bowl in Arizona here.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.